Hey, friends. So today we're talking about a topic called who and what is forming you. And I'm super passionate about this topic, like super passionate. And guess what? It's not on politics. There you go. Woo! This is not even a controversial video. So, just some housekeeping stuff quick for those of you who don't know me. Hello, hi, I am Keisha Ellingson, and I help homesick movers create a feeling of at home in their new area and just to adjust to life after the move, because sometimes after the move is the hardest part of the move, because when we realize that everything's different. Okay, so and also for those of you who are new, the first ever podcast episode that I've been on released today. So check it out. It's in my story or on my Facebook page. And I'll put the links in the comments of this video as well. And with that, let's jump in, okay? Who and what is forming you? So we become like the 5 people. Oh, and Elwin's here, just if you hear him. He's talking over there. Okay, so we become like the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And so if you take a look at your 5 core friends, probably you'll be in the same income range. You will be doing the same kind of activities, probably in the same life stage of your core 5 friends, and generally have the same views of those people. Is because we become like the 5 people that we are closest with. So just do a quick self-assessment and see if that rings true in your life or not. You can let me know in the comments, because I love to chat with you as I'm doing this live. So you have power, okay? So you have power over your thoughts. You have power over who speaks into your life, your core 5, and you have power over your limiting beliefs or what other people tell you that is or is not possible. But that's all your choice. So, and just another point I want to make clear about the core 5 people is sometimes it's not people, not a person. So it's people who speak into our life, right? But it can also be the music that we're listening to, the news. Oh no. The news that we're watching, the social media can be another thing. It's the 5 things that are speaking into your life the most. Yeah. Hey, Elwin, can you go into the living room quick? I'll be right out. Thank you. So excited. So those are the things that are speaking into your life most, is the core 5, okay? You have the power to change it if you want to, right? To change what and who you're listening to, what is speaking into your life. But first, we need to accurately assess the situation. Are you listening to fear? That's a good question to ask yourself. Are there things in your life that are speaking fear over your life? Like the news or friends can speak fear into our lives. Sometimes a victim mindset can speak fear into our life. So a victim mindset is concentrating on things that are out here, outside of ourselves, and we're more focused on what is happening to us than what we can do, okay, than what we can create. So a victim mindset is just a shift. You're focusing on everything that's happening to you, and that is quote unquote out of your control. That's where the word victim comes in, because you feel like a victim. You feel like all this bad stuff is happening to you. But in reality, you can change your mindset. Instead of focusing on this stuff that are other people's choices and such, you focus on yourself and how you can create the best life for you and the best choices for you, right? It gives you a heck of a lot more power. It gives you the power that you do have, right? It's just realizing that we have that power. So being in victim mindset could be fear-inducing. Another question while creating an accurate assessment of your situation is, are the things that are no way improving your life that you're listening to or consuming, or people? For instance, like rap songs about gang life. Is it really improving your life? I would vote no, but I mean, you make your own decision. And also people speaking negatively about others. I feel like I don't like, doesn't improve my life. I don't enjoy hearing negative things about other people. And that's kind of a slippery slope, because I feel like when you're listening to somebody speaking negative, pretty soon they're like, right? And they like want you to agree with them. Okay. So they're inviting you into the conversation to start speaking negative also, and like confirm what they're saying. And it can get really awkward when you're like, okay, well, I can't participate in this conversation because I choose not to. So you're just silent. Or when they're like, yeah, right, right. And then you don't confirm what they're saying, like it can be awkward. So are there people who are super duper negative that maybe you just don't need to spend as much time with, right? It's not that you don't value them. It's just maybe that they can step out of your core 5 and be number 6. Another question is, what about movies, music, social media? Social media can sometimes be negative depending on what you're intaking and listening to, because those can be your core 5. And then a thing I tell my kiddos is, I tell them, it's a verse in the Bible, above all else, protect your heart, for your heart is a wellspring of life. And kind of like our motto, or what I teach the kids, is I say, you protect your heart by watching what you see and watching what you hear. If you are seeing something that you know is wrong, like in a movie, then you need to stop watching that movie. And I hold the standard for myself too. Also, if there's music and they're singing about things that are not appropriate and are not good, or swearing a lot, then it's a no listen for my kids. If they're swearing, they don't get to listen to it. But I also hold that standard for myself, is I don't listen to it either, because what comes into our mind as is forming us. Okay. And we have our standard of like morals, or where we draw the line. But sometimes if we're not careful and we're listening to and watching things that we know is below the line of, like, we're like, yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, this is a funny show, but it's not morally okay, but it's funny. I'll watch it. And so we know that it's like not up to the standards that we hold. And then pretty soon instead of switching what we're listening to, sometimes this happens, we lower our standards a little bit. Okay. And what happens is, if we don't keep watching what we're listening to, what we're seeing, who's speaking into our life, then instead of holding our standard high for us and our families and what we expect, our standards can just slowly and gradually just keep dropping down. And we don't want that for our kids. We don't want to set low standards for them. We don't want to set low expectations for them, right? People thrive when they know that someone believes in them and they can do great things. You also thrive when you know that someone believes in you and you can do great things. Okay, I believe in you and you can do great things. But make sure to find and create your core 5 of people or things speaking into your life that are telling you that, hey, this is your standard. You're up here. This is where you operate, and you can do it. You're capable. You can do all these things that you dream of doing. They're in your heart for a reason, right? So the next step, after you've taken like an assessment of where you're at and who your core 5 is, or what it is, it's usually a mix. I feel like there's some people, and then social media is probably a big one, especially for like the younger generations, of like one of the 5 influencers. So then after you've taken your assessment, then you take control of your top 5. Okay. And honestly, like, if you become like the top 5 people or influences in your life, why not make them super duper amazing, right? Like, why not? I feel like it's a no-brainer. Like, if you know you're going to become like them and they're going to be forming your thought patterns, and why not just raise the bar out of the room, like, and start elevating to their level. Okay. So it's finding, you can find positive people in your life, like in person, or you can like put them in your life even if you don't actually know them. So like for me, for instance, like I listen to Martha Creedy a lot because I'm working on my business, and she is like a business queen. She's rocking business in all different kinds of businesses. So like I have my goal to get my business flowing amazingly, and she's up here just speaking life over all of my dreams and showing me that like, hey, these things are possible because she's doing them, right? I'm seeing someone do them. I also listen to Dr. Caroline Leaf. She's a neuroscientist. So talking about the brain and learning to grow without limiting beliefs and training your thoughts, right? We read the Bible, renewing our thoughts daily. And something I love about the Bible is that God calls people by what they are in the future, right? So like Abraham, he called him like a father of many, and that was in the future. Or Gideon, he called him a great warrior, and Gideon had never fought in the army. Like that was in the future. So why not be around people who are saying, hey, you are great at this, you are rocking it, you can go here, like I see you here, way up here, and with these dreams and new things that you're doing, because it's kind of like the similar in the Bible. And what God does is I don't want to say label, he calls out what's already inside of you. So get around people who are going to call out what's already inside of you. It makes a huge difference. And so sometimes, like, I listen on audio, or like people have like Facebook groups that I'll check out every once in a while. Also books. Grant Cardone, right? He's a billionaire. Why not learn from him? I also like Megan Larson. She's amazing. And she's talking about leveling up, right? It's good. Martha Creedy, I talked about her already. And Carolyn Leaf, neuroscience. Why not? This is all fun. So I just want to let you guys know that there are plenty of ways that you can raise your core 5 and start learning new things and start thinking without limits. Don't think that things are possible for everybody else except for you, or that someone is special because they released a book, or someone is special because they have this position at work. What you see others doing, you can do too. You can do it. There's no question in my mind. But you need to form the right thoughts and have the right people speaking into your life and have the right people breaking your negative mindsets, right? So if you have negative mindset, like, oh, I do not do technology. No, technology, no, I can't do it. And then you have someone speaking into your life and saying like, hey, you can do this. Like, here, let me show you how. And it's breaking those negative mindsets. So yeah, I just want to encourage you that, you know, the conversations you have, the thoughts you hold, all the people that are around you, your core 5 is super duper important, and that you have control over that. If you struggle with thought life, I have a training in the Homesick to Happy group. It's in guide number 6, and it's called Stepping Out of Negative Self-Talk with Amy Minert. It's very good. You'll like it. But if that's something that speaks to you, where you're like, hey, I'd like to do this, but like, I swear my mind is telling me how like not cool I am, or how I messed up in the past and things like that. Like, have this old script replaying in my mind. How do I step out of that? Amy talks about that. So I'll have the link in the description of the video. But remember, friends, that you hold the power. You hold the power to make your life amazing and an abundant blessing for others. That's your choice. And what a blessing it is to be able to make that choice, right? So start taking the steps to create a life that you want. Right? You don't have to live a life that you don't want. Start molding it to create what you want and picking out things that don't serve you. So I hope you guys have the best day, and I'll